itself so that police will reach and redress their grievance. And we have provided Shakti WhatsApp number also 24/7, which reaches the integrated command and control center. And we have instituted Shakti teams in 164 police subdivisions. So 164 Shakti teams have been instituted, and they have identified the vulnerable hotspots of crime against women and children. And they are frequently visiting and also conducting the drone patrolling over there, and awareness programs, and also even POCSO victims also, as they are in Mufti, they are going and counseling them and motivating them. And we are conducting the self-defense capsule courses also to strengthen the girl children. And it has been introduced in all schools and colleges and even hostels also for empowering the girls with the vital self-defense technical skills. And these are the data, the number of schools, and we have covered so far. We have started this initiative in the month of March this year. And this year, tentatively, we have contemplated to complete the schedule by the end of this year, covering all the schools and girl children. And we have formed the Shakti warrior groups in all the schools. So elementary schools, because Shakti teams and police, they will go once in a while to visit the schools and colleges to create awareness. But among the girl children, some 4 to 5 smart girls have been selected as a Shakti warrior groups, and they are motivated and they are in direct touch with one mentor through to the Shakti teams, so that they will be in direct contact and they will know the from the peer group if they have any problems. Sometimes they may be facing the abuse at even houses also. So they will share with the peer group and they will share with the Shakti teams, and so that police will redress. And we are concentrating on good touch and bad touch programs also. 24,265 programs we have conducted so far, and 11 lakh children have been covered under this self-defense techniques. And bad characters persons have been identified in schools and colleges, which is very thought-provoking. These are the bad characters, teachers and other faculty who have been involved in abusing the girl children, girl students, 175. So we have opened the sexual offender sheets against them, and also we have sent reports to the education department to see their dismissal from the service. And Shakti teams, they are flying the drones and to identify the open drinking hideouts, because if any women or children going alone, so that they should not fall prey to the perpetrators. So these are the number of drones flight so far, 6,141, and open drinking cases found 35,846 by Shakti teams. And also eve teasers 2,612 have been identified in the bus stands and auto stands and have been counseled. And AP Police has launched in the month of August Operation Trace. So to give the importance to the safeguarding the girl child, this is track, reconnect, assist, counsel, educate and empower. So during this Operation Trace, as I told you, there was 1,065 girl missing cases were pending as on July ending. So during this operation, we have formed 26 all district level special teams and also subdivisional Shakti teams 164. And with the coordination of all shelter homes, NGOs, CWC, Women and Child Welfare Department, and all other stakeholder departments, we could trace 670 girls in one go. So right now only 395 girls are, as on September 1st, girls have to be traced. So 700 girls have been traced during this Operation Trace. And anti-human trafficking units we have established in all women police stations as an integral part. And integrated command control center is also there, which you are seeing is the mobile command and control center. And child-friendly police stations we have established. And we have posted all women sub-inspectors in 26 one-stop centers to coordinate and counsel the POCSO victims. And this is the impact of police measures which have been taken in safeguarding the girl child. So these are the efforts of Operation Trace. So total girls traced 670. So this is the overall progress. 63% is the overall progress. And now, right now, as on today, only 320 girls are to be traced. So we have been continuing the Operation Trace of tracing the missing girl and reuniting with their families. And there are many success stories of Operation Trace. After 10 years in Eluru, from one shelter home, we could reunite 10 children to their families living in the Khammam who were missed when they went to Chennai for the construction work. So this type of successful stories are there, and these are the convictions we could secure because of the police efforts. 201, so 74.5% is the conclusive evidence of DNA analysis by FSL. And this is the outcome of Operation Trace. We have used the technological initiatives, CDR analysis and CCTV footages and social media IDs, etc. And these are the media coverage clippings. And coming to the gaps and challenges in safeguarding the girl child. So the reporting of missing girls is daily to 8 to 12 is the minimum across the state. So on an average per month, almost 300 girls are missing in the state. So where are they going? It indicates among the missing girls, percentage of girls of above 14 years is around 80%. So it indicates the gullibility of innocent girls leading to the hardships in life. And in spite of the efforts during Operation Trace, 395 girls remain untraced. So where are they? What are they doing? How is their plight? So we can't imagine. And it raises the alarm towards the social responsibility to safeguard the girl child. And the way forward for the safeguarding the girl child is the coordination between all the stakeholding departments, and the more focus should be on the girl missing cases, as there is more vulnerability for their trafficking. And early disposal of POCSO cases within 60 days to file the charge sheet and fast tracking the cases till the successful conviction, and taking up the more special drives like Operation Trace, and also increase the awareness programs to overcome parental sight, and increase awareness on good touch and bad touch, and awareness programs and training classes to the investigating officers also we are taking up, and immediate registration of FIRs and child-friendly policing environment in the police stations. And we have to ensure the child receives medical care, protection and counseling without any delay. And medical examination also should be conducted within the 24 hours in the presence of mother and also a female police officer. And finally, I want to conclude that AP Police is committed to safeguard the girl child in coordination with all the stakeholding departments. And it's not the only action, but attitudinal change which brings the transformation in the society. So let's all strive together today for safeguarding the girl child for tomorrow's empowered women contributing to the nation building. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your practical insights and the supportive teamwork. May I now request M. Veerapandian Garu, Commissioner Health, Medical and Family Welfare Department, who will be speaking on child and adolescent health and protection programs.
Good afternoon to honorable judges on the dais and off the dais, my colleagues and participants. Very good afternoon to all of you. From Health, Medical and Family Welfare Department, I am presenting my presentation on safeguarding the girl child and making a safer environment in our society. So from health point of view, we need to focus on protection of their rights from the stage of conception. And from health department, we take care of different levels of activities, different types of activities. We focus on regulation, screening, treatment, consultation. And we involve each individual and community at every stage. From protection point of view, we focus on four major programs. One is maternal health and the implementation of regulatory laws. And we do screening through our health programs like Rashtriya Bal Swasthya Program and Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram. And we also do counseling for children who are abused with banned substances, for which we set up clinics from health department. So from protection point of view, as I said, that we start our focus from the stage of conception. If you look at the statistics, we are having larger number of teenage pregnancies and the very minimal number of child sex ratio. That is one of the most important concern in our state. The teenage pregnancies are increasing and the child sex ratio are decreasing. So to tackle these things, we also do decoy operations in consultation with other line departments like police department, women and child welfare department and law department. And we also take care of their health care, because once we identify any teenage woman after pregnancy, it is our duty to ensure that they deliver a safe baby. Even after a delivery, we need to advise them to go through spacing method to ensure that at least the second baby will be a safe, healthy baby. So due to paucity of time, just I'm skipping a few slides. I don't want to share all the factual information which has been covered by our line department colleagues. So this screening is very, very important, because from health department, we take up this screening from the young age itself through our Rashtriya Bal Swasthya Karyakram. It starts from Anganwadi centers and schools, where we identify children with different health issues, and especially if they are mentally not sound, or if they have been abused by any of the persons within the family or outside the family. So we take care of this screening through this program, for which we have already identified all the officers who have been involved in this program across all the districts in the state, and for which we have specially trained some of the psychologists by our national institutions. They are also being used for supporting these officers to take care of these kind of issues. Then we focus on adolescent. Not only young children, when they grow up, we also take care of adolescent women through this Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram, under which we are giving 11 thematic modules training to all school teachers, and some of the students who have been bright, or they are able to communicate this information with their friends, and they will be used within the school as well as outside the school, because some of the children who are out of the school, they will be taken care of by these peer educators. So they also have been trained by our health department. So as I mentioned earlier, these children will be trained on 11 thematic modules, and these 11 thematic modules covers psychological, social, and other mental related issues. So to make a safer and enabling environment for safe children, a safe future, so we need to strengthen these systems like how other line department officials have mentioned in their presentations, that we need to work together and we have to strengthen the institutions, because we can't deal with these issues through one or two programs. Everything has to be institutionalized, everything has to be made automated, for which we need to strengthen the existing systems. And wherever we find some new issues, like how police department is using drones, so they may be taking up this drone kind of or latest technological interventions in one of the district or in one of the village. But it need to be studied, and further it need to be scaled up for entire state once we get the outcomes of such interventions. So all these interventions have to be studied in detail, and finally it should be scaled up for entire state. As I mentioned earlier, that this is not the issue of only one department alone. We need to come together, we need to work together, we need to discuss together. Finally, we need to have a convergence approach for tackling such issues. Then only we can ensure that this safeguarding the girl child and making the safe and enabling environment for them in the society will be possible. So I request all participants to take this message forward across the state, and we also as health department administrator that will extend full support to everybody who is working in this system. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the crucial role of health, welfare, and specialized services in safeguarding the physical, mental, and emotional well-being of the child. Ladies and gentlemen, now we proceed to the next participant. I invite B. Srinivas Rao Garu, State Project Director, Education Department, who will be speaking on education of the child, government and private schools, and other aspects.
Respected Honorable Chair Srimati Justice V. Sujata Ma'am, and Co-Chair Sri Justice Gunranjan Sir, and Co-Panelist Rajkumar Ma'am, Veerapandian Sir, and Teja Chakravarti Sir, and on the dais, off the dais, distinguished guests and other participants. It is my privilege and duty to be part of this large consultative committee on girl-child issues. I'm representing School Education Department. I would like to touch upon few interventions that are breaking the barriers to ensure girls' education. Yeah. Secretary Women and Child Welfare Ma'am has already mentioned about the story of Nirmala. There are thousands of Nirmalas are existing in the state. I would like to mention one more girl, Pravalika, who started her journey from very humble background. She came from very poor family and pursuing education in one of our KGBs in Visakhapatnam district. Has completed 175 online courses within 2 years. So there are a lot of Pravalikas are now emerging out of KGBs. We are shaping the girl-child educational institutions in a way that we aspire. Recently, she got felicitation from the Honorable HRD Minister. So one interesting story I wanted to present it before you. Recently, we have conducted a felicitation program for all the toppers of government schools, in those who topped in grade 10 and grade 12. Surprisingly, we have almost 80% of the girls filled in that room. So Minister was surprisingly asked, so what is happening with our boys? Now we need to take care of boys as well. So that is one part. But whereas the other aspect, still we need to do more things for the girls, because if you look at the numbers of the enrollment, is not at all a problem in the state nowadays. We are getting 100% of the enrollment at primary level, but whereas the alarming thing is the retention, particularly when the transition is happening from primary school to high school and high school to senior secondary schools. There are a lot of barriers, issues, parental mindset, poverty, these things are coming into the picture. So we need to address those issues from the school education department and from the government. But AP state is confidently moving towards the journey. If you look at the retention rate, in elementary, we have achieved almost 96.5%. That is a good number in the current circumstances. The government of Andhra Pradesh, as I said earlier, implementing so many schemes. So one is this free student kit we are giving to all the girl child. In fact, we are giving to all the students. The poverty should not become a barrier in pursuing their education. We are giving textbooks, 3 pair of uniforms, and we are giving delicious midday meal. Recently, we have added fine rice also into the meal to see the more consumption by the students. And we have also giving transport allowance to the girl child, those far from the school. And recent infrastructure development scheme, we have provided almost toilets to 98% of the students, particularly for girl child. And we have put an aim to complete 100% of toilets by next financial year. And other targeted interventions like Badiki Podam, Balika Raksha, Talliki Vandanam kind of schemes boosting the girl child's education. Sorry. Yeah. So from last 3 years, we are implementing Right to Education Act to provide 25% of the seats in private schools. If you look at the numbers, almost 30% of the girls have bagged their seats in grade 1 in the private institutions. Sorry, slides are zigzagging. Apologies. Yeah, the biggest issue is that dropout is the bigger issue for the school education department. When we look at the numbers in 15-16, the dropout at primary level is at 5.53, whereas at the secondary level is at 15.43. This was alarming. But the state is progressing towards the journey to see that the nil dropout rate. Now the figures of 23-24, these are official numbers announced by the Government of India. The figures are gradually reducing. The primary level dropout rate is almost 1%, and whereas the secondary level dropout rate is reduced to 8.6%. These numbers are speaking the dedication and the interventions are affecting to continue the girls their education. So these are some of the reasons everybody knows in this room. I don't mention those the reasons for the dropouts. But some of the interventions we take care of from the education department with the help of Panchayat Raj department and village and ward secretariat department. So we do conduct door-to-door survey on the beginning of the academic year. We identify the students and we try to counsel the parent and to see them to send the school. Also we provide transport allowance that already I have mentioned. In addition to these interventions, we open non-residential training camps, seasonal hostels to mitigate the parental migration issue. Also recently, Government of Andhra Pradesh have introduced a scheme called Talliki Vandanam, where the mother could get benefit, financial assistance, even she had the multiple child, so they would get 15,000 rupees. So that would really boosting their confidence to send their kids to the schools. This scheme is not only limited to the government schools, it was extended to the even private institutions. Yeah, this interdepartmental coordination, we have to thank the health department to provide certain budget to implement the sanitary napkins distribution program. Also, the Department of Health is providing iron and folic acid capsules to the school education department to eradicate anemia among the girl child. And we are working with Women and Child Welfare Department to bring the ECCE curriculum into Anganwadis. Also, we are supporting ECCE to the Women and Child Welfare Department because the raw material has to come from them. So, likewise, we are working with Panchayat Raj Department to see that community participation in the school development, particularly the girl child issues. Also, we are working with police department. I apologize not to mention here, but they have started Eagle clubs in all our high schools to see that the institutions are substance free. Yeah. So recently, we have identified that the parents are important stakeholders. We wanted to bring change in the mindsets. In the recent mega PTM, we have called all the parents. We have sensitized them. We used that platform as a sensitizing platform for them. So we have implemented certain initiatives. I am skipping this slide. So some of the best practices already I have mentioned. So this is one good program, Balika Raksha program, free sanitary napkin distribution program is currently we are reaching out to the 10.43 lakh girl child students, where generally girl students are tend to drop out during their menstrual cycle. So we have targeted that group, and from grade 7th to 12th, we are giving 5 large size napkin and 5 regular size napkin to see them, to see their comfort. And one more important program we are implementing from last 4 or 5 years, but we have structured the curriculum this year, this self-defense program to give confidence, strength, and skills needed to safeguard themselves in difficult times. From this academic year, this month onwards, these classes will be starting in 6,362 secondary schools. The next important item is the KGBVs. The KGBVs are the transforming I just mentioned. So almost 8% of admissions have increased in KGBVs. In majority KGBVs, even we got calls from MPs, MLAs for the recommendation. So this transformation has happened with the committed teachers network and continuous capacity buildings and successive recruitments. In addition to that, so we have achieved good amount of result in the KGBVs in the past examinations. So key interventions, the students we got to the KGBVs came from very humble background. We generally don't take any test. We admit the students from the single parent, orphans, people from destitute background. So we are now implementing PAL laboratories to see those children to cope up with the curriculum demands. So we are implementing personalized and adaptive learning for grade 6 students in all KGBVs that really coping them with the other students. And recently we have installed CCTV surveillance. We have removed the old equipment and we have put the new CCTVs in all KGBVs. And there are other initiatives are happening with the KGBVs. And as I mentioned, this mega PTM we used as this platform to sensitize the parents. I'm happy to share that we got the Guinness Book of World Record for this initiative for the largest participation. Majority participation from the mothers only. That shows their commitment towards the girl child education. We use this platform to sensitize the parents like good touch, bad touch, positive parenting, health and hygiene of the girl child, and campaigns like anti-drug campaigns we have initiated. The one more interesting program we have doing here with the school education department, we are publishing one magazine called Manabadi, where girls' success stories are the cover stories. So to inspire the many girls. And this is one interesting initiative. I'm proud to say that AP Samagra Shiksha School Education Department is the only department in the country among all school education departments to start this career and mental health counselors. We have put 255 counselors, physical counselors mapped to senior secondary schools. They go and conduct sessions to the parents, students, teachers. They identify the vulnerable kids and they develop one-on-one communication with them to support their mental well-being and resilience. So there are challenges are there. The way forward is we need to have an early warning system to identify and prevent potential girl student dropouts. Also, we need to revamp and review the curriculum. And we are planning to introduce a gender sensitive curriculum, like see always మనకి తెలుగులో ఉంటాయి, గాజులు తొడుక్కున్నావా లేకపోతే ఆడదాని పనులు చేయొద్దు, ఇట్లాంటివి. ఆర్ మినిస్టర్ యూస్ టు సే దీస్ థింగ్స్ దట్ వీ నీడ్ టు రిమూవ్ దోస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ biased curriculum, and he always guide us to how to revamp the curriculum, and we are on the way to make it our curriculum more gender sensitive. And we are also planning to consolidate the schools and to open more secondary schools to see the transition smooth, particularly for the girl child. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for emphasizing on the interdepartmental collaboration for preventing vulnerabilities at the earlier stage. It's my privilege now to invite Teja Chakravarti Garu, Presiding Officer of Juvenile Justice Board, Vijayanagaram, who will be speaking on fair and just treatment of the girl child in JJ system, time-bound justice and rehabilitation.
My humble pranams to the respected dignitaries on the dais and half the dais. First of all, I am obliged to the Honorable High Court of Andhra Pradesh for providing me this opportunity. I am working as First Additional Judicial Magistrate of First Class Vijayanagaram, Chairman, Juvenile Justice Board Vijayanagaram. And I joined in the service in the year 2022, and I took charge as Chairman JJ Board in the month of May of this year. So I worked for 4 months in this Juvenile Justice Board, and in that experience I want to share the aspects of fair and just treatment, time-bound justice and rehabilitation. To take the principles of fair and just treatment, the word fairness is a word that was more explained by Rawls' theory of justice. But to limit the concept of fair and just treatment within the scope of Juvenile Justice Act, I took the principles from Section 3 of the Juvenile Justice Act. Presumption of innocence, this is the first main principle. Second one is the dignity and equal rights for all children. The best interest of the child is the primary consideration. These principles are very much essential because unlike the regular courts, the functioning of Juvenile Justice Board is totally different, and it has to stick on the principles laid down under Section 3 of Juvenile Justice Act. Throughout the judicial process, these principles has to be followed by the presiding officer. The right to participation is must. Right to hear the child throughout the judicial process, the family responsibility, safe and nurturing environment, mobilization of family and community resources, non-stigmatizing semantics, no kind of words stigmatizing against the child in conflict with law, no waiver of rights, privacy and confidentiality is utmost objective of Juvenile Justice Act, and principle of fresh start. Even though the child in conflict with law is found that he did so and so offense, still the principle of erasure has to be applied. Institutionalization is the last resort in this process. Repatriation and restoration of the child, and principle of diversion. Diversion means wherever and whenever possible, judicial proceedings should be avoided while dealing in the Juvenile Justice Board. The next thing is time-bound justice. With regard to time-bound justice, expeditious disposal of cases, inquiries should be completed within 4 months, and it can be extended to 2 months. And in case of petty offences, the inquiry shall be concluded. In case if it is not concluded within 6 months, the proceedings shall be terminated. With regard to serious and heinous offences, mandatory permission with reasoned order from the Chief Judicial Magistrate is must. With regard to the preliminary assessment also, there is a time frame that preliminary assessment has to be conducted within 3 months from the date of first production of the child before the Juvenile Justice Board. But the problem we are facing with regard to the preliminary assessment is there is no uniform methodology to verify the triple test that was present in the Act. That is the mental and physical capacity to commit the offense, understanding the consequences and the circumstances under which the offense was committed. The total burden was kept upon the experts with psychology. We are not completely following or follow up with the preliminary assessment in the Juvenile Justice Board because of the lack of proper methodology. Child in conflict with law has to be produced within 24 hours, and social investigation report is to be submitted within 2 weeks, but we are also facing this problem. Social investigation report is not submitted by the concerned probation officers within 2 weeks from the date of first production of the child. There is lack of infrastructure or lack of staff. That is the submission from the side of the probation officers. And the probation officer in Vijayanagaram submitted that he is in charge for 2 to 3 districts, and so he could not submit the social investigation reports within the 2 weeks. So this is the one of the problem for the next step, that is rehabilitation and social integration. Counseling, education, vocational training, therapeutic interventions, they are all discussed under this Act. Section 46 of the Juvenile Justice Act, financial support is also provided to the child in need of care and protection and social reintegration. There are several institutions also: open shelter, observation home, special home, place of safety, children home, fit facility. Then I want to share 2 important incidents that were recently occurred in the Vijayanagaram. One is one girl child at the age of 16 years from a nearby town of Vijayanagaram is in love with 18 years boy. Already a POCSO case was instituted against the boy, and the inquiring proceedings were pending before the Juvenile Justice Board. In that case, the prime witness is the mother of the girl child. Now both the girl and boy got a legal advice that her mother has to turn hostile so that the CCL can be come out of the clutches of the law. Then the girl requested her mother for marriage with that boy, and also another request is to turn hostile in the POCSO case. But in the best interest of the child, the mother denied both her requests. Mother did not accept the marriage. Mother did not accept to turn hostile in the case of POCSO case. The same was conveyed to the boy by the girl. Then the boy planned to kill the mother of the girl and asked the girl to support her. Then this girl brought her mother under the pretext of urinals to a lonely place in the early morning hours, and both the boy and girl killed the mother of the girl. After the death of the mother, again thinking that she would have some life, they barbarously killed her, thrown into the well, cut down the palm branches, placed them in the well, and after that she was brought before the Juvenile Justice Board, and she started crying before me that her mother was dead. Now to whom I have to hand over this girl child? Who is the custodian of the girl? Who is looking after the best interests of the child? That child killed her own mother. Now the father and the brother of the girl are not interested to take her back to her home. This person is now, the boy is involved in the POCSO case and now in the murder case. So if I release the girl from the observation home, she will go with the boy. It is against the principles of Section 12 of the Juvenile Justice Act. So I kept the girl in the observation home for the 2 months. But I could not know what is happening in the observation home, what is the follow-up there, whether the rehabilitation and repatriation procedures for social integration was properly being followed in the observation home or not. There is no coordination between the Juvenile Justice Board and the probation officers effectively. So in this case, I think that on the record, the girl is shown as CCL, child in conflict with law, but she is a victim. Because of ignorance, because of that hastiness, she did that crime along with that boy, and she is now being repented in the observation home. Similarly, within 15 days or 20 days after this incident, one boy, in that case, girl killed her mother. Now, in this case, boy killed his father, who is looking after his education and everything. Because of mother having illicit relations with some person, at the instigation of the mother and this third person, this boy killed the father. This boy is studying intermediate. All these three persons are in the, boy is in the observation home. The mother and the other person are in the jail. And the sister is in the home. Now this person is child in conflict with law and the girl is child in need of care and protection. How to do rehabilitation? How to reintegrate them into the society? There is no proper procedure before the Juvenile Justice Board to follow such kind of things. We are only conducting the inquiry and passing orders under section 17 or 18 of the Juvenile Justice Act, but the actual objective of the act is to rehabilitate and social integrate. That is not being happened in practical way. Further, there is no individual child care plan. Individual child care plan during the inquiry and after passing the orders under section 17 and 18 are also lacking. So in that aspect, I leave these questions before this honorable dais for taking further steps. Much obliged for granting this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Teja Chakravarti Garu, for your insights and practical challenges that really matters a lot for every girl child's protection. And I request Honorable Sri Justice Challa Gunranjan Garu, Judge, High Court of Andhra Pradesh and Member, Juvenile Justice Committee, to share his views.
Respected dignitaries, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Justice V. Sujata and speakers of the session have elaborately touched upon various finer aspects of theme of this session by giving deep insights, by sharing their perspectives. The interactive session with the stakeholders has been very meaningful, thought-provoking. The experiences and views expressed by participants not only emphasize legal, policy, administrative framework, explained exhaustively with reference to the data, in place to mitigate and achieve the objectives underlining, but also their practical experiences through various challenges in achieving the goal. Their participation is well appreciated. At the conclusion of this session's deliberations, it is my privilege to place on record a few reflections of the themes discussed. Each of these issues is integral to safeguarding the dignity and future of girl child, and I shall briefly touch upon. Protecting and empowering the girl child. Protection must go hand in hand with empowerment. The law alone cannot achieve this unless society itself recognizes the girl child as an equal stakeholder in the progress. Empowerment comes through access to equality, education, skill development, healthcare, and opportunities to participate in decision making. It is not mere protection, but the assurance of equality and freedom from discrimination that will secure her future. Our statutory framework, including Juvenile Justice Act, Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, and Prohibition of Child Marriage Act, etc., provides robust tools. Yet gaps in enforcement, lack of awareness, and delays in reporting weaken their impact. Child protection units, child welfare committees, and district child protection societies must be adequately resourced, sensitized, and made accountable. Timely interventions are vital in cases of abuse, trafficking, or neglect. The role of police is not confined to post-offense investigation. Preventive policing requires regular interaction with schools, communities, and parents. Dedicated women's help desks, child-friendly police stations, and use of technology for tracking missing children are crucial. Above all, police personnel must undergo gender sensitization to handle cases with empathy and urgency, keeping the child's welfare at the center. An enabling environment is one where a girl can grow without fear, prejudice, or stigma. This involves not only safe physical spaces, schools, transport, and public areas, but also nurturing mental spaces free of stereotypes. Community leaders, educational institutions, and media must work together to dismantle regressive mindsets. Schemes such as Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao must be implemented not as slogans but as sustained community movements. The judiciary has taken significant steps through fast-track special courts under POCSO Act and sensitized procedures for recording evidence of minors. Still, pendency and delays remain a concern. Victim-friendly approaches such as video conferencing, in-camera trials, and avoidance of repeated questioning